Hi everyone, Nancy here. It is July 11, 2021, and right now it is 7:22 in the evening, and the temperature is plus 20, and that is 66 degrees in US terms. There is a little bit of a chill in the air, so I have a light sweater on me. Yep. And it's cloudy, but still very bright. Yep, I have Uma out here, and she's just roaming around on the floor, but I have to watch to see if she wants to go back inside or... Yes, and I also have my umbrella because it's been raining a little bit off and on, so let me see if you can see it. Hold on. See, there's my umbrella. Back when I was at the other place, guys, and I used to bring the umbrella outside with me when it was pouring rain in the other balcony, on the balcony from the other place. And it was so nice because when it's pouring outside and you're underneath an umbrella that's sheltering you, from the pouring rain, and like you're underneath an umbrella and the rain is falling and you're doing a video or whatever, you're talking, you're recording something. It's so cozy, guys. It's so cozy. Yeah, so give that a try. It's really nice. Yeah, so anyway, you know what, guys? Some years ago when I used to watch reality shows, and like back then I used to think they were so interesting, but not anymore. I don't think they're interesting anymore because all they do is make your brain like jello and mushy, and they make you stupid. So if you guys are still watching reality shows, I'm not trying to say that you're stupid. No, I'm saying this is what happens to us when we watch reality shows. It does, that term, it dumbs you down. It does dumb you down, and you don't learn anything. There is no education. There's no value, nothing, no substance in whatever we're watching. So that's what happens when we watch reality shows. So I stopped watching them a long time ago. And then one time when I started watching them again, like I started to take a sneaky peeky, then I heard the Holy Spirit say, "You're watching that garbage again." He said something like that. And I said, "Okay, Lord." And so then I stopped watching it again. And so, it's been maybe almost 10 years that I stopped watching those shows. Yes. Okay, hold on. I'm looking back behind me to see what Uma's doing. Okay, she's looking at the door, so I think she wants to go back inside. So I'm going to open the door, and if she doesn't want to go in, I'm going to shove her inside because I can't keep turning around and everything because it's kind of disruptive or whatever. Okay, hold on a minute. Okay, Uma, come on, go back inside. Come on, come on. Go, 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 go inside. Go inside, go, go. Go inside. I'll see you later. Bye. Bye. I'll see you later. I'll see you later. I'll see you later. Okay, guys, she is inside. She didn't want to go in, but I had to shove her in there because she also likes to file her nails on the brick wall here that I have here, you know, over here in the balcony. Yeah, so guys, one time, when I used to watch those reality shows, there was this one show. The Holy Spirit is tickling me. There was this one show that I used to watch from the United States, and they were the the show was about university students. Maybe some of you guys that are watching will know which one I'm talking about. I don't remember the name of it, but it was from the U.S., a university campus reality show, and they were filming what happens in the day of life of university students living on residence in a group setting, like in a big house, and they all have their bedrooms, and they showed them the way they interacted with each other and all of that. Yes. So But this one show, it was it was kind of put together because the show, it was not only about seeing, observing the life of university students, while they're studying and living together. It was not all about that, because the show was produced so that the students also had to take part in these how do you call them? So some kind of like activities. Like the producers would create activities for the students to participate in, and it was something that they had to go through as a part of the reality show that they were in. And so I don't remember too much because this was a very long time ago. This was, like I said, at least 10 years ago. And I remember this one activity that they had to go through. Like, for example, if a student, there was some kind of an activity where there were losers and there were winners. So the losers had to do whatever the winners said. They had to participate in something. Hold on. Okay, those kids, they're just downstairs and in the playground. And if you heard some kind of squeaking noise, it was one of the kids. Mommy, hold on. Did you guys see that? I saw a humongous, it looked like a dragonfly. Yeah, so one of the kids was going down the slide, and the slide is made out of plastic, and they were wearing running shoes. So, that's why if you heard the squeaking noise, that's what it was. And sorry about all the noise, guys, because they're being very loud. Yeah, so one of the activity. Oh, okay, sorry guys, that was just me. I scared myself. I scared myself because I'm motioning with my left hand, right? I'm motioning with my left hand, and I'm looking straight ahead, and my left hand made a shadow, and I thought it was an animal. I thought it was an animal. Sorry guys, for you guys that don't know me, you have to get used to me because I get very distracted and I will go off and talk about other things. So sorry guys, sorry. Okay. Yeah, so like I said, part of the show was the students having to participate in some kind of a game activity where the losers have to do whatever the winners say. Okay, so there was this one girl in this group in the where in the group of students that were living in this house. She had a really, really awful attitude. Her attitude was like this. She was very mean. Like she had her heart was so dark. She enjoyed being mean, doing mean things to people. And she loved it, and it was a joy for her whenever she would see the results of her meanness. And she never understood when people tried to tell her, look, your behavior is so woundful. It's so destructive. You have to understand how you're treating other people. All she would do is laugh and just kind of like so so like that. That was her attitude. And I never liked her because of that. It always annoyed me to see her attitude. And so, as I was watching this, I got to know her personality very well. Like, you get to know all of the students' personalities very well with the more you watch the reality show. And this one student, guys, she was so like mean, guys. She was mean as in, like I said, she enjoyed doing mean things and then laughing and feeling good about it. And she would walk away like as if though, oh, I'm relieved. It feels so good. It's like some kind of a relief that she would get. Yes, she would get a relief from doing something mean, and she was always laughing, and then I remember, sorry about that noise, guys. Then I remember this one time, something happened. I don't remember what happened, but she was mean to somebody. She was mean to somebody, and it had nothing to do with an activity that that the producers of the show had put together, right? It had nothing to do with an activity. Something just happened. I forget what it was, but she was behaving very nasty to somebody, just really mean. And then the person that she was mean to, and they, I don't know what they did. They left, maybe they left the house, they went for a walk or something, because they were so hurt. So they just went off and by themselves, right? And then later on that day, that mean girl was dealt with. It's like life paid her back. There was this another student in there, a guy, a big tall guy, and he was kind of a little bit rough, and he wasn't mean per se. Now, when I say per se, what I mean is he didn't look to cause trouble. His personality was not too pleasant. Whoa. Okay, I just saw a big whatever that was. It took off, a huge dragonfly or whatever it was. If you guys saw it, it looked like a bird, but it was a bug. So, like when I say per se, I mean he is not definitely mean. He can be. It's just a part of his personality. For the most part, he gets along with people, but his personality is not too pleasant either, but he doesn't look to hurt people. He just has an unpleasant personality, but he doesn't look to hurt people. So what I saw one day, like I said, that girl was being mean to that other person. That person took off somewhere. And then later on in the day on the show, that mean girl, I don't know, I don't remember, because like I said, it's 10 years ago. Somehow there was an interaction between this mean girl and that guy, right? And the guy saw her attitude and he didn't like it. So what he did was, he said something to her, he scolded her, and she didn't like it, right? He really, like verbally, he really like gave her a tongue lashing, guys. She didn't want to hear it. She did not appreciate it. She didn't like it. And she was sitting on a chair. So then she stood up and she was going to walk away because she didn't want to hear what the guy was saying. And the guy, guys, do you know what he did? He went over to her, grabbed her by the arm, and he forced her back and sat her back down on the chair. And you should have seen her composure. Her composure was like this. Uh-oh, I can't do anything about it. He forced me to sit here. I've got to listen. I have to stay here and listen. I really don't like this, but I have no other choice. And the thing is, you could see also in her composure that she knew that she got her behind whipped. Like, she understood what was happening. She understood that the way she was behaving was so unacceptable that finally somebody put her in her place, and in her mind I could see what she was thinking. Okay, he's not playing. He's serious. He understands that I went too far. So I've got to just calm down myself and let him be who he is right now, because he is very serious about why he's upset with me. And guys, when I saw that, now some of you guys might be saying, no, that's not right, because that's he's physically abusing her. No, he's not physically abusing her. He gave her exactly what she was deserving, because she was being so brutal to people. Guys, with her actions, okay, she was killing people with her actions, and she didn't care. She was laughing and taking pleasure in killing people with her actions. And then somebody comes along to put her in her place about the way she's treating other people. Because, guys, this guy didn't like it. Okay, like I said, he didn't have too much of a pleasant personality, but he wasn't like her. He wasn't going out there to look to harm people. Right? He understood, like, there's a way to behave. People may not like you, but there's a way to behave. You don't harm people on purpose. Right? So when I saw this interaction taking place between this guy and this girl, do you know how good I felt inside? I'm like, finally somebody put her in her place. Somebody made her understand what was happening. Guys, it was a very It was a moment when I was thinking to myself, "Oh, right, yeah." You know? And perhaps, guys, there were other people watching that episode. Well, there were millions of people watching it. But right now I'm thinking maybe there were other millions, thousands of people watching that episode. They were also thinking the same thing. Yes, good for her, good for her. She got what she deserved for being so mean. You know? I was really shocked when I saw like her attitude change when the guy grabbed her by the arm. He grabbed her by the upper arm, like closer to her shoulder, and he forced her right back down onto that chair. And he sat her there. And he sat her there and he said, like, with his body language, "You're not coming out of there. You're staying right there." And he continued to talk to her about her nasty attitude because it was so unacceptable. So, guys, it was like a father. Of course, he wasn't old enough to be her father. They were all relatively the same age. They were in school. But it was a situation where somebody had to be a father figure, a parent figure to her, and put her in her place. Because the producers weren't doing it. The directors weren't doing it. They like that kind of thing. That's the kind of thing that gets them ratings, right? So that's repulsive. It's disgusting, right? So, but I'm glad that somebody was there who put her in her place. And I was just so shocked when I saw the expression in her face, like, wow, I went too far. Somebody dealt with me because of my attitude. Oh boy, that was her attitude. That was her attitude. And then, guys, on another occasion, okay, this was actually before this incident took place where she got forced on the chair. This happened beforehand. So she had a habit of bullying this one guy. But the thing is, he would always get her back. Like, he would always, not get her back as in revenge, but he would always, what I mean by that is, he would tell her verbally who she was to her face. Right? Nobody else was doing that. It was only him. You know, and he wasn't afraid of her. Nobody was afraid of her. They didn't like her because of her nasty attitude, but nobody was afraid of her. They just didn't like her. You know, so this one incident that I'm going to explain. Okay, like I said, it happened before the incident where she got forced to sit on the chair. So this other guy, he really didn't like her because of who she was, but this girl she targeted him. For whatever the reason, she targeted him for a lot of her nastiness. And he would, like I said, he would always, you know, he would give her a verbal scolding, and she would just laugh because she thought it was funny. Okay? And then, once again, guys, I don't remember, it was so long ago, about 10 years ago. Then, one day, this girl did something to this guy. It was so unnecessary, okay, but she acted something out. This time she went further than just being verbally mean. She did something, I don't remember what it was, but it was a very nasty thing that she did to him. So the guy, after he found out what happened, he approached her, he scolded her for it, and then I wish I could remember what it was, but he did something to, I guess, quote unquote, get her back. And it was something that really, really, it hurt her deeply. Not as in emotionally, like he didn't get her back like to wound her emotionally. No, he did something like some kind of he got her back in a way where the person is just not going to like it. But it wasn't to be horrible or mean. No, not like her. This was some kind of other thing that he did. Some kind of other, I hate the word, but vengeance that he did to her. Right? So once that happened, okay, they showed the clip of her reacting to what happened. Guys, her entire demeanor, who she was, completely changed. This is what what she said to the guy. She approached him and she said something like, look, I don't remember. Guys, I don't remember. But she told him that she did not like what he did to her because it was terrible and it was awful. And she's like, no, seriously. I mean, seriously, you would actually do this? Then the guy said to her this, oh, now you don't like it. You don't like it when you don't like it when things get done to you. Right? But you like doing nasty things to other people and even laughing, and you don't even care. And guys, she did not respond to what he was saying. She just kept saying, look, I don't like what you did. That wasn't necessary. That's mean. No, I don't like that. Why did you do that? And the guy's like, well, why are you asking these questions when you are the same way to other people? Now, do you see how you don't like it? You see how you like it now? You don't like it when it's done to you, but you like doing it to other people. Why are you complaining? What you are doing, what happened to you is what you're doing to other people. So you see how you like it now? Do you like it? Right? So he really expressed himself very well. And guys, the entire time that he was telling her these things, she was still saying, look, that's not necessary. You shouldn't have done that. She didn't acknowledge who she was for why something bad would happen to her. All she cared about was what was the bad thing that happened to her and not the bad things that she was doing to other people. It didn't fit in her brain that she was, she was experiencing, she was, what happened to her, they got back at her because of who she was, or because of who she is. Right? She was very nasty and mean to people, so it came back to her. Now, guys, I'm not saying that vengeance is good, because it's not. Because these people, what they were doing was vengeance to her. They were doing vengeance to her. Okay, so but that's not good. Even though it makes us feel good, it's not good. Right? And in the Bible, God does say, whatever we plant into the ground, right? It's going to come back. And it doesn't come back one time. It comes back many times. Because, guys, when you take a plant, when you take a seed, right? Say you have like a seed that grows a tree, an apple tree. So you plant that seed in your backyard, right? And then, in a few months or whatever, it grows and then it produces apples, right? It's going to give you back a bunch of apples, not one apple, right? So that's why God says, when we plant something, whatever it is, it's going to come back. If we're going to plant hatred, a lot of hatred is going to come back, not just one. If we hate one person, right? If we hate one person, we're planting a seed of hatred. We're planting it into the environment. And then that hatred that gets planted into the environment gets taken everywhere, all over the atmosphere, all over the world. Right? And then it brings back hatred from many people to us. You understand? So that's how it works, right? When we plant something, and that's how the harvest comes back. We don't get one, we get many, because that's a rule. It's a rule in the natural with when you plant seeds, like a tomato seed, you're gonna get a whole bunch of tomatoes, not just one. It's the same thing with in the invisible, like in the spiritual world. The same thing. If you plant hatred or whatever, it's gonna come back many times over, not just once. And so, guys, yeah. So the guy that was scolding her for why she was complaining about this bad thing that had happened to her, when she was the same way with other people, and she was doing it just for the fun of it. Nobody was attacking her. Nobody ever did anything bad to her. It was always her. So, the guy was telling her, you are this way. What happened to you is because of who you are. So you have no right to be complaining. And so when I was watching this interaction taking place between the guy and the girl, I couldn't believe it in my brain. I'm like, how could somebody be so stubborn, like in their reasoning, to not see that the reason why something bad is happening to them is because of who they are. And the guy was even telling her, this happened to you because you did this. And it's still 1 + 1 was not adding up in her brain. To her, 1 plus 1 was adding up as 11. So that is somebody, guys, who is so full of arrogance. So full of arrogance because they believe that they have the right to be who they are to other people, but other people do not have the right to do the same thing to her. That's called arrogance. And they are willfully blind. They willfully make themselves deaf. They don't care about reason. All they care about is what makes them happy, whatever that is. And that's all they live for. You know? And so, yeah. Oh, let me tell you, something else happened on this show. Okay, with this girl. And I'm going to make this a 2-part video. So okay, there are 25 minutes left. So I'm going to stop this, and then I'm going to come back and tell you the rest.